Chapter 632. I feel so wronged. This? Liang Wanjun shook her head. It doesn't really look like you. Yi Xiaoting was already thoroughly convinced his son was framed, so he shouted, I thought you guys really found concrete evidence. In the end, you simply got someone to pretend to be my son? Without giving Liang Meixian and Yi Xiaoan a chance to explain, Yi Mugan carried the laptop to Tan Yilan and Yi Hongwei. Grandpa, Grandma, the two of you watched me grow up. Look at the person in this recording. Is that person me? Tan Yilan and Yi Hongwei became more and more doubtful. They looked closely at the man who appeared in the recording and compared it to their grandson standing before them. They weren't too sure why, but seeing how confident Yi Mu Fan was, the elderly couple felt that the person in the recording looked somewhat different the more they stared at him. Yi Xiaoan erupted when he saw what was going on. Yi Mu Fan, stop your pretense. Everyone knows how obsessed you were with that Shen Mengqi woman, so you went over to work for the Shen family and in order to please her, you stole your own family's business information. There's no other way our bid could have been leaked, so who could it have been other than yourself? Yi Yi's gaze shifted and she knitted her brows. Also, the one who won the project was the Shen family. Isn't this too much of a coincidence? So you guys got someone to pretend to be me and appear in the footage in order to frame me, right? Yi Mu Fan said coldly. Also, the corners of Yi Mu Fan's lips lifted upwards as he continued, the master of the Shen family was merely my father's chauffeur in the past, so how could I, Yi Mu Fan, take a fancy to his daughter? Don't be silly. I was just fooling around. I can have as many women as I want outside. You guys used this logic to accuse me. Isn't that a little too absurd, huh? I think all of you were trying to get rid of us completely and make Grandpa and Grandma very disappointed in us, so you guys purposefully lost the tender competition and shifted the blame to me. Liang Meixian hit the roof. She clicked her tongue and said, Dad, Mom, are you guys seeing this? He's still so shameless at this point. He's hopeless. Grandpa, Grandma, as the saying goes, justice naturally inhabits a man's heart. They couldn't produce any evidence, yet they were so sure it was me. The person in the recording is someone they hired to disguise as me. They said I was obsessed with that girl from the Shen family. This is complete nonsense. If Grandpa and Grandma don't like her, I'll dump her right away. I take after my grandpa, suave and cool. Yi Mu Fan said sternly. Tan Yilan glanced suspiciously at Yi Hongwei. He really takes after you in that aspect. Hearing that, Yi Hongwei was embarrassed. Cough, cough. That was a very, very long time ago, Yi Mu Fan continued. Grandpa, Grandma, I'm your very own grandson. It's you and Grandma who brought me up. Ever since I was a little boy, you and Grandpa taught me that one must be honest and have an unshakable spirit. I admit that I've been somewhat playful these few years, but I've never done anything against my morals and have never forgotten what Grandpa and Grandma taught me. It doesn't matter who suspects or scolds me. Grandpa and Grandma, you guys are the people I have the most respect and love for. I couldn't take it if both of you doubted me. It's not that Grandpa and Grandma don't believe you, it's just that Tan Yilan considered how upset her grandson was and felt quite terrible. Yi Mu Fan looked aggrieved. Grandpa, Grandma, you believed second uncle, believed second aunt, believed what everyone else said. Why won't you listen to my explanation? Chapter 633. Take the reins. All these years I was away from home, I always remembered what Grandpa and Grandma taught me. I wanted to change and start over, and I knew very well that Grandpa and Grandma did this only for me to gain experience and for my own good, so I entered a small company to start from the bottom. I hoped that someday I would be able to be someone they were proud of. What woman from the Shen family? That was just for fun. After all, I take after Grandpa. Listening up to this point, not only Tan Yilan, but even Yi Hongwei was moved. Yi Xiaoan and Liang Meixian were completely dumbfounded as they watched how Yi Mu Fan denied everything and even said how obedient and sensible he was with such confidence. Following that, after Yi Mu Fan was done with his piece, he knelt down in front of the two elders as he looked at them with sorrowful eyes. Grandpa, Grandma, I really didn't do it. Why must second uncle frame me like this? Our family has already been chased out, isn't that enough? How far does he want to push us before he's satisfied? He and Yi were the ones who kept the tender document, so they must have leaked it on purpose and pushed the blame to me. Grandpa, Grandma, please be the judge for your grandson. In the corner, Yi Wanwan held her forehead subtly. I shouldn't even have worried at all. This guy is even more into character and more shameless than I thought. Yi Shaoan was so furious that he nearly spat out blood. You. However, he kept saying you, and couldn't complete his sentence at all. This Mu Fan is simply too crafty, too absurd. At this moment, Tan Yilan's face was completely soft. Her eyes were slightly reddened and she turned to her husband. Hong Wei, we brought Mu Fan up single-handedly. This child is most like me, so I know his character very well. He wouldn't do something like that. We really misunderstood him. Yi Hong Wei nodded gravely. And that's right. Yi's little face froze. With just a few words from Yi Mu Fan, her grandparents were totally hoodwinked. How could this happen? Yi Shaoan and Liang Mei Xian's faces changed drastically. Dadma, don't be deceived by the flowery words of this guy. Yi Hong Wei berated them sternly. All right, it's already been proven that Mu Fan was framed. We shall not speak of this incident again. When Yi Hong Wei thought how Yi Shaoan lost this project on purpose to frame his grandson, his face gradually turned grave, although it was just Yi Mu Fan's accusation. According to his second son character, what Mu Fan said wasn't impossible. Yi Shaoan looked at the suspicion in his old man's eyes and really wanted to vomit blood, but if he kept making a scene, he might not even be able to deal with Yi Mu Fan and implicate himself instead. Seeing how her grandson suffered so much from this incident, Tan Yilan looked at Yi Shaoan, obviously upset. Shaoan, you should reflect on your part for this incident as well. It was just a small splendid light project, yet you caused such a mess. You've neglected your duties as the SIL. Also, you better investigate who pretended to be Mu Fan and framed him. Investigate my ass. It was obviously this fella. How could he investigate? Yi Shaoan was at a loss for words and could only swallow his anger. Yes, Grandma, are we just going to let them off for trying to frame me? They didn't even apologize. Is this how an elder should behave? Am I right? Yi Mu Fan kept up his act of being completely shameless. Yi Wanwan, don't ask me, just take the reins and continue. Chapter 634. Lost the bait. Along with the fish, Yi Hong Wei glanced at Yi Shaoan and the others as he said, apologize to Mu Fan. What? We were beaten down yet we still have to apologize? What are you standing there for? Can't even do a simple thing right and caused a great commotion in the family. Yi Shaoan saw that the old man was furious, so he reluctantly said, Nephew, really sorry about this incident. Second uncle will get to the bottom of it. Liang Mei Xian suppressed her fury as she said, Sorry, Mu Fan. Yi said apologetically, Mu Fan, sorry we misunderstood you. It seems like someone is trying to frame you on purpose. My parents acted this way only because they didn't know the truth. Yi Mu Fan waved in a forgiving way. Forget it, just don't simply push any shit to me in future. If you weren't normally so brazen, why would they suspect you? Tan Yilan was angry but her tone was much gentler. Yi Mu Fan quickly said, Grandma, I know I was in the wrong. I'm trying my best to change and become a better person. I'll learn from Wanwan. When Tan Yilan heard that, she turned to her little granddaughter who was standing by the side in silence. Yi Wanwan had been causing chaos outside these 2 years and made herself look ridiculous. She thoroughly embarrassed the Yi family. This time, she heard that during the banquet, this little brat changed completely. Initially, she didn't believe it, but after seeing it for herself today, Yi Wanwan indeed changed quite a bit. I heard you got into imperial media and even got a top score for liberal arts? Tan Yilan sized Yi Wanwan up. Yi Wanwan lowered her gaze. Yes, Grandma. Then not bad. Study hard in university and don't embarrass the Yi family anymore. I will, Grandma. Although Tan Yilan's attitude towards her wasn't very warm and friendly, it was a big change compared to before when she wouldn't even look at her. Tan Yilan was quite taken aback by Yi Wanwan's quiet and obedient demeanor. In the past, Yi Wanwan talked back all the time whenever she opened her mouth, but now her temper improved. Indeed, one must face hardships outside before he or she becomes sensible. Even though she didn't like Liang Wanjun and her eldest son let her down completely, Wanwan and Mu Fan were still her very own grandchildren. If she hadn't been so angry, she wouldn't have chased the children out of the house and disowned them, causing the family to be separated. Tan Yi-lan continued, "Stay for dinner tonight. We'll head back to the old residence for a meal together." Yi Xiaoting and Liang Wanjun were in disbelief. This was the very first time their mother invited them back in 2 years. It was easy to imagine the look on Yi Xiaoan and his family's faces at that moment. This time, they truly lost the bait along with the fish. At night, at the old residence, Yi Mu Fan knew how to placate people very well from the beginning, but after his father went bankrupt, he became embittered due to the drastic change and grew distant from his grandparents. At this moment, Yi Mu Fan's talent was unleashed. He managed to make his grandparents so happy during dinner that Yi Xiaoan and his family's faces turned green. "Grandma, give this pig trotter to second aunt instead. Your skin is flawless. You don't even need to eat this." Don't be cheeky. I have to warn you, although everyone wronged you this time, don't think I'll turn a blind eye to all those absurd things you did before. Your grandfather and I built this family with our bare hands and only managed to bring our family business to this point after several decades of hard work. Our Yi family must never be handed over to a useless person. Chapter 635. Seek justice for me. Yi Mu Fan nodded seriously. "Grandma, I understand." The old man spoke up as well. "You and Wanwan should learn from me. If the two of you were half as capable as her, your grandmother and I wouldn't have to worry so much. You're a grown man, yet you're not even comparable to a girl. Aren't you ashamed, huh?" He was sitting next to Tan Yi-lan and she said gently, "Grandpa, Grandma, Wanwan and Mu Fan are still young. They just haven't gotten to the right frame of mind yet. You guys don't have to be so worried." Yi Hongwei sneered and glanced at Liang Wanjun. "With such parents, how could I not worry?" Yi Mu Fan clenched his fists and suppressed the anger inside him. He didn't blow up right there and said, "Grandpa, Grandma, I'll work hard and if I don't make something out of my life, I won't come back." Yi Hongwei nodded and looked satisfied. "This is the right attitude. Grandpa and Grandma will wait to see your success." This was the first time he openly expressed that he would give Yi Mu Fan another chance. Which meant that if Yi Mu Fan's performance was satisfactory, he could return to the Yi family anytime. Yi Xiaoan scoffed softly. "I'm afraid he won't be able to come back forever." Yi Mu Fan grinned widely and turned to him. "Second uncle, you don't have to worry about that. You should quickly investigate and find out who tried to frame me. I'm still waiting for second uncle to find the real culprit and seek justice for me." Dinner was over. At the door, Yi walked them out and said warmly, "Mu Fan, you won't blame Jie Jie for not speaking up for you today, right? That person who disguised as you really looked like you? I couldn't even tell." Yi Mu Fan sneered. "Jie Jie? Whose older sister are you? How come I didn't know that my mother gave birth to an older sister?" Yi's expression turned ugly immediately. "Mu Fan, what are you talking about? I'm your older cousin." Yi Mu Fan nodded like he just gained enlightenment. "Oh, so you're my cousin. I thought I was already a very good actor, but compared to you, I'm nothing." Yi initially wanted to pretend to be a good person, but in the end, she was so annoyed that her face turned pale. Liang Meixian's high-pitched voice came from behind her. "Yi, come here. Why are you speaking to that piece of garbage? Aren't you afraid of stooping to their level?" Liang Meixian's gaze brushed past the two of them in disdain. "Tsk tisk, I'm glad you guys know Yi is your cousin. You guys better not try to claim relations with her." Yi Mu Fan dug his ear. "Same goes to you." Liang Meixian ridiculed him. "Yi Mu Fan, you think you can come back by simply acting pathetic and placating the two elders, huh? Let me tell you, as long as I'm in the Yi family, your family can stop dreaming of returning. Just go and be a slave for that Shen family's small lousy company." Hearing Liang Meixian bringing up the Shen family, Yi Mu Fan's face darkened as the nauseating image of Shen Mengqi and He Jun Cheng in the hotel appeared in his mind and he thought about how stupid he had been these 2 years. At this moment, Yi Wanwan chuckled lightly and looked disdainfully at Liang Meixian. I think second aunt should worry about herself and cherish the days of being the young mistress of the family because she won't be for much longer anymore. Wow, little girl, you can really talk big, huh? Then Yi Xiaoting and Liang Wanjun came over. Yi Xiaoting was surprised to see that Liang Meixian and Yi were there as well, so he strode over and stood protectively in front of Yi Wanwan. Wanwan, what are you guys chatting about? Chapter 636. Come to my side, I'll let you soar. Nothing much, just chatting. Daddy, Mommy, let's go. Yi Wanwan was worried her mother would feel uncomfortable with Liang Meixian and Yi, so she didn't want to stay any longer. Just as they were about to make a move, Liang Meixian suddenly called out to Yi Xiaoting. Why Yi Xiaoting? Yi Xiaoting stopped in his tracks. Liang Meixian exclaimed coldly, You'll regret the decision you made that time. Yi Xiaoting turned around. His gaze was completely icy without a tinge of warmth as he said, I'll never regret whatever decision I made. If I have to be regretful about something, it would be agreeing to Wan Jun's request to allow you to stay in our family, allowing a wolf into the house. Yi Xiaoting ignored Liang Meixian. He took his wife and daughter and left without looking back. In the car after taking her parents home, just now when their parents were in the car, it wasn't very convenient to speak, but now that they were gone, Yi Fan finally couldn't help but curse. If it wasn't for Dad and Mom, I really wouldn't have stayed for this dinner. I felt so disgusted. Alright, Wanwan, should we tell Mom and Dad what really happened? Yi Wanwan replied, Better not. Mom and Dad can't keep this sort of thing in their hearts. It also saves them from worrying about whether people will find out. Yi Fan nodded. Okay. Yi Wanwan glanced at Yi Fan after speaking. Where are you planning to go after leaving Assembly of Stars? Yi Fan looked as if he was drained of his energy as he slumped down into his seat and seemed defeated. I don't know, so what if I don't need to go to jail? My life still has no hope. I definitely can't go back to the company. Even if Grandpa and Grandma allowed me to, I'm no different from a lamb in a tiger's den in Yi Xiaoan's territory. Yi Fan was very clear on this in his heart. After what happened to his father, he was Yi Group's director of procurement, but in the end, Yi Xiaoan kept causing problems for him and abusing his power. Yi Fan was spoiled ever since he was little, so how could he bear such treatment? Furthermore, he was working half-heartedly in the company at the time and it was too easy to blame him. In the end, he was so mad that he punched Yi Xiaoan and left the company himself. He also made it clear to his grandparents that he would never return. If he returned to Yi Xiaoan's hands once again, he didn't have to think to know what would happen to him. His father was overthrown, he was powerless and had no backing, and the little accomplishments he made in the fashion world were all snatched away by He Junqing. Yi Fan had nothing, so how could he fight Yi Xiaoan? At this moment, his phone rang and the caller ID indicated that it was He Junqing. Yi Fan scoffed and answered the call. Let's hear what this guy has to say. Hello. The moment he picked up, He Junqing's flustered voice came through the receiver instantly. Where did you go the entire day? Don't you know there's an entire pile of things waiting for you to deal with at the company? Are you sure you're speaking to the right person? He Junqing's voice softened. When he thought about the mess Yi Fan left behind and the designs of costumes for the upcoming drama series, he said earnestly, Fan, you should know what's good for you. As long as you're willing to continue working for me, I'll increase your pay by $3,000. No, make it $5,000. Yi Fan stared at his phone and directly spat out 3 words, Go to hell. Great. Yi Fan, I would love to see where you'll go now. Don't come crying to me next time. Shit. Yi Fan was so infuriated that he hung up straight away. Yi Wanwan turned to look at Yi Fan. Come over to my side. Chapter 637. Is he really that terrifying? Go over? Dazzling media? Yi Fan smiled bitterly. Move to another company to be a servant again? And it's also the Yi family's rival company? Yi Wanwan replied expressionlessly, so what if it's their rival company? Yi Fan knitted his brows. This, actually, Wan is right, an enemy's enemy is a friend. To me, Worldwide is indeed the best choice. At least Yi Shaoan can't interfere at all, much less the Shen family. But the problem is, Wan, you're still inexperienced and simple-minded. It's not that easy to get into Dazzling. You must know that although Dazzling is the weakest among all the other subsidiaries of Worldwide, it's still a notable company in showbiz. Assembly of Stars Entertainment might have done well these past 2 years, but lately, having conflicts with Dazzling obviously didn't do them any good. Especially that newly appointed Director of Talent Recruitment, he has a mysterious background. He just got appointed not long ago yet managed to execute his job so perfectly. With his sharp foresight and accurate premonitions, he managed to bring fame to a has-been, clinched a role that everyone was fighting for and finally, even forced the big boss of Dazzling Zhou Wenbin off his throne, taking over his place. I heard Dazzling's first quarter doubled immediately, shifting them away from being the weakest. If I'm applying for a position like yours as a small assistant, I might have some hope, but for an important position like an artist stylist, it's easier said than done to pass an interview with an outstanding man like him. Yimu Fan shook his head and smiled bitterly. He didn't have any hope. Yimu Fan thought Yi Wanwan was just an intern, a small assistant at Dazzling. Yi Wanwan's expression was subtle when she heard what Yimu Fan said. That newly appointed Director of Talent Recruitment, is he really as terrifying as you described? Yimu Fan glanced at her. You're working at Dazzling, don't you know about him? But that's no wonder, you probably wouldn't have a chance to interact with someone at his level. Yi Wanwan nodded and didn't refute. She said, Dazzling is currently hiring stylists and the interview is tomorrow. I already applied for you, so you can just make a trip down tomorrow. How will you know if you don't give it a try? Maybe he'll appreciate your talents and hire you even without the interview? How could that be? Yimu Fan shook his head and laughed. He thought his sister was merely trying to cheer him up. Initially he wanted to reject, but he didn't want to disappoint his sister, so he forced himself and said, All right, I'll give it a go tomorrow, but don't get your hopes up. Yi Wanwan nodded. Okay. Yimu Fan looked at his younger sister and was about to speak but bit his tongue. What? Yimu Fan lowered his head and felt extremely guilty. Sorry. If it weren't for you, I might have been kept in the dark like a fool my entire life. I'm not fit to be your older brother. I didn't take care of you and protect you. Instead, I let you, a girl, worry about these things. Yi Wanwan looked at her older brother who used to be so high-spirited. He seemed to have lost his spark now and she sighed. If you feel bad, stop dawdling. From today onwards, you should start working hard. Stop drag racing, gambling and getting into messy relationships. Yimu Fan smiled bitterly. Look at me now. Where can I find the money to do those things? So you'll continue to do those things if you have the money? No. Alright, go back and rest early. I'll be waiting for your good news tomorrow. Sure. Yimu Fan replied, but there was an emptiness in his eyes. Chapter 638. The director personally invited me over the next day at Dazzling Media. Previously, Zhou Wenbin was the one who managed every matter in Dazzling. Those newbies he picked were pretty good, but the styling team was very weak, which caused the artists to lack individuality and look just like they were packaged in the same assembly line. After Yi Wanwan took over, she restructured the entire styling team. Yimu Fan brought his personal portfolio over to the styling department and saw that there were quite a number of candidates there already. Each candidate had an outstanding resume. Most of them were either disciples of some well-known stylist or were stylists for some superstar. But as for him, he only knew how to have fun and fool around every day from when he was still the great young master of the Yi family. He was a nobody the past 2 years in the entertainment industry since Jun Cheng took credit for all his work. Last night, as he racked his brains over preparing his resume, he realized he couldn't even write a single word out and didn't have anything to show for. His entire resume could be presented on a single sheet of paper. If he told them that all the works of the head stylist of Assembly of Stars were done by him, who would actually believe him? The person in charge carried a huge stack of documents, stood by the door and said casually, "Everyone, please bring your resume and come in for the first round of interviews later." The candidates each went in succession and the person in charge could be heard from outside saying, "You had the cheek to show up at Dazzling with a resume like this? Do you treat this place as a garbage disposal station? Didn't we already say we need someone with more than 2 years of experience? So what if you have many works? You don't have a single piece of work that has been done independently. Pass, next please." Outside, hearing the sharp and stern voice of the person in charge, Yimu Fan clutched his resume tightly. This resume of his would simply invite ridicule. "Next," the person in charge urged. Yimu Fan took a deep breath and entered. There were a total of 3 people on the interview panel. The eyes of the unsmiling person in charge were like an X-ray as she scanned Yimu Fan up and down and saw that he was dressed quite attractively, but unfortunately, they were all cheaply priced and low-end brand names. "Resume?" the woman asked. "I forgot to bring it." Yimu Fan decided not to bring out his resume in the end. "How could you even forget that?" The woman was clearly upset, but she decided to give him another chance since he was aesthetically pleasing to the eyes. She took a sip of coffee and asked casually, "What's your name?" "Yimu Fan." "Piff." When the woman heard his name, she choked on her coffee instantly. Cough, 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 cough. Yimu Fan frowned when he saw this and wasn't sure why the woman had such a big reaction. The woman had a 180-degree change in attitude all of a sudden. She quickly got up and welcomed him. "Aya, so it's Teacher Yi. Why didn't you say so earlier? The director already told us about you. He wants you to head over to his office directly." Yimu Fan was confused. "The director wants me to go to his office directly? Don't I have to go through the interview first?" That's right. Teacher Yi, the director invited you over personally. Why would you still need an interview?" The woman immediately handed over the rest of the interviews to her colleagues while she led Yimu Fan out as she spoke. "What? The director personally invited me over?" Yimu Fan was totally confused about the situation as he followed the woman into a spacious office. "Our director will arrive shortly. Teacher Yi, please wait a while. I'll get someone to prepare some tea for you. Is there anything else you need?" The woman was eagerly attentive. No, Yimu Fan decided to wait and see. Anyway, it wasn't his fault if there was a misunderstanding. "All right then, let me know if you need anything." "Sure." Chapter 639. The attitude of a first wife. Yimu Fan sat on the single-seater sofa and waited. About 5 minutes later, footsteps approached. The door of the office was pushed open by someone and Yimu Fan turned to the door instinctively, but all he saw was the Luo Chen who recently gained fame from the latest drama series that hadn't yet been aired. He was wearing a simple t-shirt and jeans, and though he looked youthful and clean, it was somewhat dull and monotonous. Luo Chen nodded his head slightly towards Yimu Fan when he saw him and didn't ask who he was. He directly sat down on the sofa across from him and plugged in his earphones. He sat there in silence and didn't seem to have a presence at all. He thought Luo Chen's quiet persona was packaged by the company on purpose. He didn't expect that he was even quieter in person. As Luo Chen's burst in popularity could be said to be a case study for showbiz, Yimu Fan couldn't help but take a longer look at him. Alas, his gaze just swept across him when he realized that Luo Chen had opened WeChat on his phone. He wasn't listening to music but someone's voice, and he was also writing something down from time to time in his notebook. Following a bang, a young man dressed in fluorescent green rushed in, bursting with energy. The assistant followed behind with big and small bags in both his hands with his head covered in sweat. Yimu Fan almost went blind from his fluorescent outfit and cherry blossom pink hair. Truly, one could wear anything if he or she was good-looking. If any ordinary person was dressed this way, it would be a total car wreck. "Who are you? What are you doing in Yiji's office?" Gong Su looked at Yimu Fan, alarmed. Especially when he saw that the other party was quite good-looking as well, he became even more guarded. Could it be that Yiji wants to recruit someone new again? How could he do this? Isn't it good enough to have me? Yimu Fan felt a little uneasy with Gong Su's eyes fixated on him. "I'm here for an interview as a stylist. Director Yi wanted me to wait here." When Gong Su heard Yimu Fan's reply, he let his guard down and pouted in a disinterested manner. He didn't look at him anymore and walked towards Luo Chen instead with the expression of a bandit. Get up, this is my seat. Luo Chen glanced at him and didn't bicker with him. He picked up his phone and notebook and walked towards the other side of the sofa. Gong Su sat down arrogantly and turned to his assistant at the side. Have you told Yiji already? Is Yiji accompanying me for that variety show? The assistant looked like he was in a tough position and replied carefully, This? Yiji said he had to go over to the set for Terrifying Dragon 2 with the crew at that time, so he won't be able to go with you. What did you say? Gong Su exploded. He stood up instantly and yanked Luo Chen's earphones out. Luo Chen, what do you mean by this? Luo Chen lifted his head coldly. What's the matter? Yimu Fan looked at Gong Su, then turned to Luo Chen and thought to himself, seems like the rumors about these two not getting along are true. Gong Su roared, stop pretending. Are you a primary school student? Why do you need your manager to accompany you for a shoot? The little assistant sniggered in his heart. By saying this, if Luo Chen is a primary school student, then aren't you a kindergartner? Facing Gong Su's provocation, Luo Chen pursed his lips and didn't say anything, like he didn't want to fight him. Gong Su still raged on. You merely started out with Yi a couple of days earlier than I did. What's there to be proud of? Yi doesn't belong to you alone, so why do you keep putting on the attitude of a first wife, huh? Yimu Fan. First wife? This description. Luo Chen was almost at his last straw and he said icily, Gong Su, don't go too far. Chapter 640. Your biased. Gong Su slapped the table hard. Oh, you even dared to threaten me now, huh? Young master is never afraid of being threatened in my entire life. Do believe that just one word from me can kick you out of the entertainment industry. Yimu Fan was amazed by how unreasonable Gong Su was. And no wonder this guy changed managers so many times before. Which manager could tolerate him? Right at this moment, there was a creak from the door and a low and clear voice resounded, What are you arguing about now? Gong Su, I could hear your voice from far, far away. Gong Su, who was initially like a fighting rooster, froze and quickly slid his hand that was used to slap the table back to his side. Then he picked up the teacup, handed it to Luo Chen and said apologetically, Senior Luo Chen, you acted so well just now. I benefited from it. I benefited from it. After which, he hopped over to Yi Wanwan. Yi Ji, I was practicing with Senior Luo Chen just now. Was it very realistic? Were my emotions especially on point? After Yi Mu Fan saw the person who entered, he was stunned. So this person is the legendary director Yi Bai from Dazzling? He's so young. And why does this guy look so familiar to me? Yi Wanwan glanced at Yi Mu Fan. Sorry, please give me a moment. It's fine, it's fine. I don't mind, you carry on. Yi Mu Fan said immediately and brushed away the thoughts in his mind. Yi Wanwan slammed a stack of newspapers in front of Gong Su. You and Luo Chen have been photographed 3 times already. Are you trying to let the world know there's disharmony in the family? Sorry, I was wrong. Luo Chen apologized instantly, looking guilty. All right, I know it wasn't your fault. When Gong Su heard that, he felt so wrong that he almost started crying. You're so unfair. You're going to Luo Chen's set but not accompanying me to my program. Do you not love me anymore? You're going to abandon me. Yi Wanwan was dumbfounded. This is the very first time I'm going to Luo Chen's set, and his parts for those days are more important. If you continue to deliberately cause trouble, I'll make you undergo a transformation in the countryside. Yi Wanwan was furious when she was saying that last phrase. Gong Su knew that since Yi Bai said it, he would really do it. He would rather die than go to the countryside to feed pigs and eat bread. Gong Su didn't dare to continue anymore and he quickly became a coquettish and obedient boy. Yiji, don't be mad. It's fine if you're not going. It's such a simple variety show, I can handle it myself. Also, I've been good these past few days. I didn't miss a single class, didn't snack on junk food and even worked out. Look, my muscles are more defined now. Yi Mu Fan couldn't believe his own eyes. Is this really the little tyrant, Gong Su? He could actually make Gong Su obey his orders. This Yi Bai is extraordinary indeed. Gong Su lifted up his shirt and revealed his stunning abs proudly. Yi Wanwan took a glimpse of them and her face warmed up slightly. Not bad. Get the assistant to take a couple of photos for you, post them on Weibo and apologize to your fans. She didn't want to be too strict and controlling with the artist's social media, but in the end, as soon as she was inattentive, this fella actually posted nonsense on his Weibo and the content was all about grief over the passing of Spring. He also enjoyed spamming and inciting confusing speculations outside. You take the photos for me. Gong Su blinked. Yi Wanwan reached out her hand. Bring me your phone. Chapter 641. Success in our work. Gong Su immediately passed his phone over eagerly. Yi Wanwan took the phone, then simply took a photo for him. Done. That's fast. Just one? Don't we need a few more from different angles? Gong Su was disappointed. Yi Wanwan looked in Yi Mu Fan's direction, then turned to Gong Su. This one is perfect, go post it. I have an appointment with someone and I have things to do today. Yi Wanwan then took out a script from the drawer. Go take a good look at this script and you must keep it confidential. You're not allowed to disclose it to anyone else. When Gong Su saw the script, he was elated and felt like his value was finally being appreciated. Yi Ji, you're finally letting me take on assignments. I'll definitely take a good look at it. Then he looked at Luo Chen and walked away, satisfied. After Gong Su left, Yi Wanwan arranged assignments for Luo Chen over the next few days. When Yi Wanwan was done with that, she finally got down to business. Good afternoon, Mr. Yi Mu Fan. Sorry for making you wait. Please take a seat here. Good afternoon, Director Yi. I've heard a lot about you. Yi Mu Fan greeted him, slightly nervous. Yi Wanwan laughed. Did you? Yi Mu Fan immediately said, Of course, there's quite a bit of news about you outside. I've admired Director Ye's past achievements as well. I didn't expect that you would be so young and… What? Nothing. Yi Mu Fan felt that it would be quite rude for him to tell a man that he looked like his younger sister, so he kept quiet. Yi Wanwan took out a contract and said, I'll go straight to the point then. What do you think? Are you interested in joining Dazzling? Yi Mu Fan froze. I don't quite understand what you mean. Yi Bai's making this sound not like an interview but more like an invitation instead? How is that possible? I would like to invite you to take over the position of head stylist at Dazzling. Yi Wanwan didn't beat around the bush. What? Head stylist? Yi Mu Fan was stunned and in disbelief. Director Yi, are you sure you don't have the wrong person? Yi Wanwan, you are Yi Group's former director of procurement, the assistant stylist at Assembly of Stars, Yi Mu Fan, right? Why yes, that's me. Yi Mu Fan was stunned. Then he said with a slightly darkened expression, my relationship with Yi Group? I guess I don't have to elaborate on it. I'm just a stray dog right now and was a small assistant at Assembly of Stars Entertainment. My name hasn't even appeared in important circles before, so why did Director Yi choose me to take on such a crucial role? But, are you not confident you can do the job well? Yi Wanwan asked in response. Yi Mu Fan balled his fists up. Of course I am. I'm just worried that Director Yi will regret it. Don't worry. I dared to hire you so naturally, I've done my own research. Yi Mu Fan couldn't help but wonder if Yi Bai found out about the arrangement between him and He Juncheng. Otherwise, he really couldn't think of any other reason why Yi Bai sought him out. So, your decision? Yi Wanwan asked. Yi Mu Fan took a deep breath. Since Director Yi personally entrusted me with this role, it'll be my honor to accept it. Yi Wanwan smiled and stood up. Then I wish us success in our work together. Success in our work together. At that moment, Yi Mu Fan was still in disbelief. He didn't have any hopes of getting the job at first, but in the end, the interview was a success and he was even an outsourced head stylist. Chapter 642. What is it, GG? Yi Mu Fan was in a daze when his phone started ringing. Yi Mu Fan was about to reject the call, but Yi Wanwan glanced at his phone from the corner of her eyes. A call from your parents? Don't worry about it, you may answer it. Yi Mu Fan nodded and answered, "Hello, Mom." Mu Fan, I heard from Wan Wan that you're going for an interview at Dazzling Media today? Yes, I'm already at the office now. Has the interview ended yet? What's the outcome? Yi Mu Fan suppressed the excitement within as he said, "It's ended and I'm now the head stylist of Dazzling Media." What? Liang Wanjun was astonished. Shortly after, Yi Xiaoting's stern voice came through the receiver. With your background and experience, it's already unlikely for someone to hire you. Why would they let you be the head stylist all of a sudden? That's right, Mu Fan. Don't lie to us just to make us feel better. Yi Mu Fan looked at Yi Bai awkwardly, then coughed lightly. Dad, I'm serious. Don't you guys have any faith in me? It's not that Dad and Mom don't believe you, but do you really think this is possible? Is Wan Wan with you now? Can you get her to the phone? I want to ask her if it's true. Yi Mu Fan was helpless. She's not here. Before Yi Mu Fan could finish his sentence, the young man in front of him suddenly reached out and said, "Can I have a few words with your parents?" Yi Mu Fan was hesitant, but the man was very friendly and he was his new superior after all, so he passed the phone over and said, embarrassed, "My parents don't believe that I got the role of head stylist. No problem, I'll explain." Yi Wanwan smiled and took the phone. "Hello, Mu Fan." "Hello? Mu Fan, are you listening?" Yi Wanwan revealed a sweet smile and said gently, "Hello, Mom, it's me, Wanwan." Yi Mu Fan was touched by his superior's friendliness and warmth, but in the next second, it was as if he was struck by lightning. He turned to the young man, in disbelief, and thought he was crazy and hallucinating. What's going on? Why did I hear Wanwan's voice coming out from the mouth of Yi Bai? It's Wanwan. Quick, tell Mommy the outcome of your brother's interview. He said he got the role of head stylist. How is this possible? Liang Wanjun and Yi Xiaoting didn't notice anything unusual over the phone and probed anxiously. Yi Wanwan turned to her brother, who had already transformed into a rock, and continued, "Daddy, Mommy, what Yi said was true." The person in charge at Dazzling was very impressed by him and probably did his own research, so he knew that Ji was responsible for those designs at Assembly of Stars, which was why he invited him over. "Daddy, you also know Dazzling's artists are quite weak in their styling and urgently need talented staff." Hearing Yi Wanwan's explanation, Yi Xiaoting and Liang Wanjun finally believed their son. "Then that's great. Fantastic. I've always been worried about you working at Dazzling, but now that you have your brother with you in the same company, he can take care of you." Yi Wanwan nodded continuously. "And he will take care of me. Don't worry. I'll hang up for now and we'll talk more when we meet later." Good. Come home with your brother for dinner tonight." "Sure, I really want to have Mommy's home-cooked squirrel fish." After Yi Wanwan hung up the phone, Yi Mu Fan was still in a trance. He looked at Yi Wanwan like he had seen a ghost. "You, who?" Yi Wanwan already switched to a girl's voice and she blinked. "What is it, Yi?" Chapter 643. My younger sister couldn't possibly be so amazing. It was as if thunder exploded in Yi Mu Fan's head when he heard Yi Wanwan calling him Ki. What? You're Wanwan? Am I dreaming? You're the newly appointed big boss of Dazzling, Yi Bai? No, wait, isn't Yi Bai a man? Yi Bai is actually a woman? Yi Mu Fan was utterly confused that his words became incoherent. Must you be so surprised? Yi Wanwan raised her brows and sat down languidly on the sofa by the side. At this moment, although Yi Wanwan was still disguised as a man, as the cold and threatening aura around her disappeared and her expression became gentler, her sense of familiarity gradually increased. Yi Mu Fan finally believed that the person before him was truly his own younger sister. He put his hand over his chest where his heart nearly stopped beating. Obviously. My heart nearly stopped beating just now, all right? This was a complete magic show. Who could handle their superior suddenly turning into their younger sister in a second? Yi Mu Fan scanned her disguise up and down and gulped, looking like he had a hard time finding his words. You're too daring. Nobody could tell at all? Yi Wanwan rubbed her chin and raised her brows. My own brother couldn't even tell. Do you think others realized? Yi Mu Fan didn't have a rebuttal to that. No, the important question is how exactly did you even manage to enter Worldwide's territory and reach this position? One must know that the director of talent recruitment was more powerful than a general manager. A person in this position was at the top of the hierarchy and controlled almost all of the artist's resources. Otherwise, Zhou Wenbin wouldn't have been able to dominate dazzling in the past. How did she manage to reach this position? Yi Wanwan recalled everything that happened ever since she entered the industry. Thinking back, it had been considerably smooth sailing ever since she entered the industry, and she progressed faster than she'd imagined. Han Xianyu's incident granted her a place in the company, Luo Chen's rise to fame allowed her to stand firm in this industry, and Gong Su was an unexpected treasure, allowing her to save quite a bit of time and squeezing Zhou Wenbin out of the picture. With that thought, should I actually be nicer towards Gong Su? Yi Wanwan returned to her senses and summarized how she got into dazzling for Yi Mu Fan. Even though Yi Mu Fan had heard all the rumors about Yi Bai, hearing it from his rash and ignorant younger sister this time really felt like a fantasy. The incident of Han Xianyu sexually assaulting a young girl shocked the entire industry, yet his sister was actually the one who proved his innocence behind the scenes. The great prophet who exploited the right timing and conditions, enabling the has-been from 3 years past, Luo Chen, to explode in fame overnight was also his sister. The one who pulled Gong Su away from Zhou Wenbin and even made him so obedient was also his sister. He was initially so worried that it wouldn't be easy working under such a smart and terrifying boss, worried that even if he got in by a fluke, others would make life difficult for him, but in the end, the boss was his own sister. With a backing as stable as Mountain Tai, who would dare to mess with him? Yi Mu Fan stared at Yi Wanwan and suddenly felt like she had a gold light radiating from her. So you're saying that you got the Golden Seas apartment back from Han Xianyu's incident as a condition, but that old fox cheated you by playing a game of words with you and used a huge sum of property price to tie you down. Although Yi Wanwan's income was now quite impressive, she would still need quite a few years to pay off the house. Chapter 644. Am I such an unprincipled person? Yi Wanwan replied plainly, judging by Chu Hongguang's character, it was quite expected. It's such a huge sum of money, and with Dad's debt, how can we afford it? Yi Mu Fan's face darkened slightly. Yi Wanwan's expression didn't change at all as she replied, since I dared to get this house back, I naturally have a way to pay for it. Seeing Yi Wanwan's neat and tidy outfit with a card up her sleeve, Yi Mu Fan inexplicably felt a great sense of security from his younger sister. He nearly went over to light a cigarette for this big shot before he found out her true identity. What plans do you have in mind? Yi Mu Fan asked. I'm planning to shoot a drama series myself and already prepared the script. I'm still scouting for a lead actor, and now that you're here, I don't have to worry about the styling, so I'm only left with finding investors for the series. Yi Mu Fan was slightly taken aback. Shoot a movie yourself? The movie industry is so competitive right now, many people lose their entire life savings. I'll go through the details with you in detail next time. For now, let's go to the shopping center. Yi Wanwan stood up. Shopping center? Yi Mu Fan didn't get it. You're now the company's head stylist. Obviously, we have to get a few decent outfits for you. When Yi Mu Fan heard that, he recalled how he received strange looks when he arrived at his interview in this outfit, and his face turned gloomy. People were very pragmatic nowadays, especially those in the industry. Wanwan was right, he would be starting work soon and would definitely need some decent outfits. Otherwise, wouldn't he be an embarrassment to his younger sister? Yi Mu Fan was slightly embarrassed. It's just that I'm afraid I don't have the money to buy anything. Yi Wanwan's face darkened as she glanced at her brother. That he Juncheng earned millions every year by taking credit for his work, yet he was still a pauper. She really didn't know what to say to him. Yi Wanwan replied, I'll lend you some money first. You'll use your salary next month to pay me back. It costs only about half your monthly salary to buy a few outfits. It's way better than spending the money on partying and fooling around. Yi Mu Fan nodded his head continuously. All right, I'll listen to you, but I have one request. What is it? Yi Mu Fan coughed lightly. That Could you change back into women's clothes and shop with me? Isn't it a little weird to have two grown men shopping together? We might be mistaken as, I thought you were open to both men and women? You still care about this? Yi Wanwan said in a righteous tone. Yi Mu Fan was angered all of a sudden. Damn, who said I was open to both genders? Don't listen to the nonsense I said to those dumb friends, alright? Glad that you're not. The two artists I have are both males. I was a bit worried they wouldn't be safe. Am I such an unprincipled person in your heart? What do you think? He didn't expect that this was the impression his sister had of him. He had to turn over a new leaf and get a fresh start. After they left the company, with Yi Mu Fan's vehement begging, Yi Wanwan found somewhere to change back into her female outfit. Shortly after, Yi Wanwan drove to the largest luxury shopping center and accompanied Yi Mu Fan to shop for clothes. Wanwan, what do you think? Yi Mu Fan tried on a Versace limited edition outfit and walked out of the fitting room. Yi Mu Fan had transformed from head to toe. He was wearing a wine-red western suit. This color that was so hard to pull off actually made him look distinguished, elegant, and charming. All the little sale assistants hid in the corner and were starry-eyed from looking at him. She had nothing to say about her brother's good looks, and with the outfit elevating his appearance, he was simply stunning. Chapter 645. 100 times of yours. Sometimes, one's appearance and outfit had a really big impact on people, and this kind of effect radiated from the outside in. Yi Mu Fan had a free and uninhibited vibe. It seemed as if the noble son, who was always fooling around, was back. Compared to when he was always bitter and gloomy before, this was certainly much more pleasing to the eye. Not bad, very handsome. You should buy this set as well. Yi Wanwan nodded, pleased. It's made of a great material too, very comfortable. Look at those cheap clothes I was wearing before, they made my sensitive skin itch. Yi Mu Fan raised his wrist to reveal a patch of small red rashes. Yi Wanwan was at a loss for words. You just have the prince syndrome, Yi Mu Fan suddenly said. You have the nerve to criticize me, huh? Your skin is more sensitive than mine, alright? Do you know how hard it is for me to pick out your clothes for you each time? I always have to worry about which material would be right for your skin to prevent an allergic reaction. Really? I think I'm still alright. Yi Wanwan blinked. I haven't had an allergic reaction the past few years. I probably led such a good life in the past, which was why my skin becomes sensitized, right? Yi Wanwan didn't dwell on this issue and pointed at a dark blue suit. Go try that on. That dark-colored one? Yi Mu Fan asked. Yes. No way? What kind of taste do you have? That's obviously not my style, okay? Who said it's for you? Yi Wanwan raised her brows. You're making me try it on. If it's not for me then, Yi Mu Fan trailed off and suddenly thought of something as his face turned ugly. He probed, Don't tell me, you're planning to get it for that wild man, huh? What wild man? He's my legitimate boyfriend. Go try it on for him. I want to see how it looks on. Yi Wanwan didn't deny it at all. Yi Mu Fan's face darkened further as he walked over to Yi Wanwan sternly. You're actually getting such an expensive suit for him? Wanwan, are you sure that guy is honest with you? You must be more careful, men these days are horrible. Hearing Yi Mu Fan saying, men these days are horrible, Yi Wanwan was speechless. Have you looked at yourself? Yi Mu Fan, Wanwan, you ought to be more cynical. What if he sees that you're rich and pretty and wants to trick you for your money and body? Yi Wanwan was completely dumbfounded when she heard that. Yi Wanwan, trick me for my money, trick me for my body? Yi Mu Fan, that's right. Yi Wanwan was at a loss for words for quite some time and finally said earnestly, Go, you're overthinking. If there's any trickery for money and sex involved, I'm the one guilty of it. What do you mean? The literal meaning. Alright, stop nagging. Go change into it for me. Yi Wanwan urged him. With Yi Wanwan urging him, Yi Mu Fan went into the changing room reluctantly. After a few minutes, Yi Mu Fan came out of the changing room with a rigid expression. Yi Wanwan rubbed her chin and looked at him for a long while. Why does it look a little weird, huh? I already told you this doesn't suit me at all. Yi Mu Fan said with annoyance. Yi Mu Fan tried probing. How does your boyfriend look like? What's his style like? Tell me a little. Yi Wanwan pondered it for a moment before replying, how does he look like? His attractive index should be roughly 100 times of yours. Yi Mu Fan's face became as black as the underside of a pot in an instant. Aren't you scared of getting your tongue cut for bragging? The Yi family had great genes, each one of them was good-looking, especially this brother of hers. His attractive index caused him to be very vain ever since he was little, so if she said her boyfriend was good-looking he might believe her, but she said her boyfriend was 100 times better-looking than him. Wasn't this a little too much? Chapter 646. I have a boyfriend. Yi Wanwan didn't try to explain. Just get this then, you don't have to try it on. He looks good in anything anyway. Yi Mu Fan. Why do I feel a little sad, like she's fallen out of favor with me? In the past, his younger sister used to chase him and say, he is the most handsome, but now she was actually saying that a wild man was 100 times more good-looking than him. After getting some outfits, Yi Wanwan started driving somewhere else. Where are we heading to now? Yi Mu Fan was confused. You'll know when we get there. 10 minutes later, Yi Wanwan stopped at the only Pagani flagship store in Imperial City. The moment Yi Wanwan arrived, a warm and friendly sales assistant welcomed her immediately. Miss Yi, you're here. Please come in. And this is? My brother. Hello, Mr. Yi. The sales assistant hurriedly greeted him and stole quite a few glances when she saw how handsome he was. Hi. Yi Mu Fan followed behind Yi Wanwan and the sales assistant, oblivious to what was going on. Has my car arrived? Yi Wanwan asked. The sales assistant returned to her senses and quickly answered, yes, yes. You may sign the contract today. Great. Can we drive it now? Yi Wanwan asked. Of course you may. Please take a seat here and wait a moment. The sales assistant left to make some arrangements. After Yi Wanwan went through all the procedures to collect the car, one staff member drove a brand new shining red Pagani over shortly afterward. Yi Mu Fan's eyes glistened when he saw the supercar. After all, it was a man's nature to love cars, and his favorite supercar brand was Pagani. The color was also right up his alley. Yi Wanwan stood in front of the car and turned to Yi Mu Fan. Give it a go. Yi Mu Fan was stunned. Huh. It's for you. What? Yi Mu Fan's entire face was filled with astonishment. For me. All these years he had been driving a second-hand Buick, and after being a loser for so long, he almost forgot how it felt to drive a supercar. In the end, this silly girl simply presented one in front of him and said it was for him. Yi Wanwan glanced at Yi Mu Fan's lifeless expression and said, You don't want it? Forget it then. What? What? Yi Mu Fan slid into the car at lightning speed and started making himself comfortable. Yi Mu Fan stretched his head out of the window and said, What? Are you really giving this to me? This car is expensive. Although he had seen all kinds of sports cars when he was the young master of the Yi family, that was in the past few years, he hadn't even upgraded cars when that second-hand car of his was so broken down. Thinking back, no wonder Shen Mengqi found all sorts of excuses every time he wanted to pick her up. She probably didn't want to sit in that lousy beat-up car, huh? Yi Wanwan said, I poached you for my company, so obviously I have to show you some appreciation. Yi Mu Fan suddenly replied, My own sister poached me. I wouldn't even mind working there for free, all right? Yi Wanwan giggled, then brought a bunch of keys and an access card over. Also, the place you're living in now has dragons and fish lumped together. You should move into a company apartment. After he took the keys and access card, Yi Mu Fan, who had lived for over 20 years, finally learned that being genuinely nice to a person wasn't a hypocritical show of affection or a bunch of sweet and honeyed words. It was buying clothes, cars, and giving him an access card without a second thought. All right. It's getting late. You can just drive straight to the apartment. What about you? Yi Mu Fan asked. Yi Wanwan replied faintly, I have a boyfriend. Yi Mu Fan's face darkened. Are you sure this is the right way to talk to a person who's just fallen out of love? Yi Wanwan, It's already very kind of me to not stuff you with dog food. Yimu fan, you didn't stuff me with dog food? 1. Crooks mixed in with the honest folks. Chapter 647. Returning on a stormy night recently, Shin City had been facing various issues and Si Han had to make a trip down personally to resolve them. Ever since news of Si Han's terminal illness spread, there hadn't been a day of peace. He wasn't even dead yet, but these people were already starting to get out of control and were secretly forming factions that even colluded with external forces. If Si Han died, the Si family would be enveloped by internal strife, and by then, the entire Si family would be akin to a sheet of loose sand. 1. Yi Wanwan returned to Jean Garden even though she knew Si Han wouldn't be able to rush back today. This used to be the place she hated and feared the most, but today, it was a place of solitude for her. In the blink of an eye, 3 months had passed since the family clan meeting. She promised the elders she would definitely help Si Han recuperate. After all, according to Sun Bai Chao, if she did everything according to his instructions, Si Han should be able to recover, albeit slowly. During these 3 months, Si Han's health was good sometimes, but other days, it was bad. However, at least he didn't have any major ailments and he was stable at the moment. During the last 2 routine checkups, Si Han's health didn't show any signs of deterioration. The group of elders was still making a racket, but they finally managed to make it through these past 3 months, and because of Si Han's gradual recovery, the elders couldn't do anything. Although they made it through the most precarious months, Yi Wanwan still didn't dare to relax. The elders wouldn't let this matter be so easily. If anything happened to Si Han's health during this period, it'd definitely become their excuse and bargaining chip. Yi Wanwan was worried about him, so she sent Su Yi a text. "How's his health? Are things going smoothly?" After a long wait, Su Yi still hadn't replied. He was probably very busy. Yi Wanwan stared at the deep night sky through the window. "I'm afraid it's going to be another sleepless night in Shin City." Yi Wanwan leaned against the sofa in the living room. She waited for a reply while she drafted the business plan for her show. Time went by and shortly after, it was already late in the night. It started to drizzle outside and a hint of cold air seeped into the room. Yi Wanwan couldn't really focus anymore, so she stared at the business plan in a daze after some editing and kept feeling uneasy. Yi Wanwan didn't notice that late at night, in the entrance of the yard, a familiar black car had returned without a sound. The maid saw that Yi Wanwan still hadn't gone to bed and had to remind her gently, "Miss Wanwan, are you waiting for Ninth Master? He's out on a business trip and won't be back so soon. You should rest soon, it's very late now." It was only after the maid's reminder that Yi Wanwan realized it was past midnight. Hence, she quickly got up and prepared to shower. "Alright, I got it. You go get some rest too." Yi Wanwan pulled her jacket around her shoulders, placed the script down and stood up. The second she stood up, the big and heavy door was slowly pushed open and the chilly night air and cold wind instantly invaded the house. Yi Wanwan was stunned when she saw Si Han standing at the door in a black windbreaker. His clothing was flipping in the wind, the iciness on his face was deeper than the rainy night and a murderous energy around him drifted into the room. "Ninth Master! Ninth Master!" All the servants at home trembled as they quickly arranged themselves in 2 straight rows. They didn't even dare lift their heads to look at his face. Yi Wanwan was surprised. "Why are you back so early? You're done with your work?" "N." He replied, then handed his windbreaker to the maid by his side. While they were speaking, he already made his way over to her. Chapter 648. You can't sleep when I'm not around? Yi Wanwan was dressed like a girl next door. She was sitting on the sofa with her legs propped up, and she had a stack of documents in her hands. Her expression was warm and gentle, and immediately, his frosty and bloodthirsty aura disappeared. It was as if this man of the night was instinctively chasing after the light. Si Han leaned over like he wanted to hug her. However, he straightened up immediately, restraining himself as he said, "I'm going to shower." It was probably because he was afraid that his icy and murderous aura would frighten her. But the moment he straightened up, His body was embraced by the person he had been yearning for all along. Si Han was stunned at first, then he gently returned her hug. "Why aren't you asleep yet?" Yi Wanwan sighed. "I think I got infected by you." She couldn't fall asleep when he wasn't around. Si Han didn't understand and he looked at her. "What do you mean?" Yi Wanwan raised her brows and gave him a sly look. "The literal meaning, figure it out yourself. You're always going in circles, so I'll let you have a taste of your own medicine this time." Si Han pondered it for a while. He then stared at her deeply and said, "You can't fall asleep when I'm not around?" Yi Wanwan was amazed. "Incredible! He actually got it right." With a self-righteous tone, Si Han said, "Just an easy deduction. Didn't you say you were infected by me?" Hearing that, Yi Wanwan felt her heart suffering a blow once again. "Oh right, where's Su? He didn't come home with you?" Yi Wanwan turned to Si Han. "Si Han. He still had some follow-up work to do." Oh, Yi Wanwan nodded. "No wonder he didn't reply to my message." Yi Wanwan didn't probe any further about Si Han's work in Shin City. Judging by the deadly aura around him, she could roughly guess how it went. "Alright, go shower now. Don't catch a cold. I bought a new shirt for you. Go try it on after you shower," Yi Wanwan urged him excitedly. Si Han, "Okay." Upstairs, in the bedroom, after Si Han showered, Yi Wanwan hurriedly brought out the suit she bought for him to try. When Si Han changed into it, Yi Wanwan nodded, satisfied with herself. "Sure enough, my boyfriend looks good in anything. My brother didn't believe me." "Your brother?" A subtle, strange look flashed across Si Han's face. "Yup, my brother came over for an interview as a stylist. After he found out Yi Bai was his own younger sister, well, you should have seen that face of his." Yi Wanwan smiled and told Si Han what happened that day. "While shopping with him, I saw this suit and thought you would look pretty good in it, so I bought it. Do you like it?" Si Han then saw the business plan by the side of the bed and casually picked it up. "What's this?" Didn't I mention it to you before?" "I'm preparing to shoot a series and this is the business plan. As the saying goes, the smartest housewife cannot cook without rice. Before I begin shooting, I obviously have to pull in some sponsors." Yi Wanwan explained. Lately, she had been very busy with the script for this series. In her previous life, she saw numerous classical drama series and movies. With her amazing memory, she was able to reproduce a script that would surely explode in popularity in the future, and she planned to take advantage by shooting it in advance. Doing so would inevitably snatch the opportunity from others and change the course of the future. Using this method to reap benefits wasn't really what she wanted to do. However, there was one script that was exceptional. In her previous life, Yi Group's Emperor Sky Entertainment shot a youth idol drama series that was extremely popular all over China. Chapter 649. An angry ninth master. Everyone from this drama series, from the artists to the production team, exploded in fame. It set countless records and came to represent Asia's teen idol dramas as a whole. After that, it was also translated and each country broadcast their own version. However, the screenwriter of this series, Su Lin, encountered a very tragic ending. What Su Lin went through was somewhat similar to Yi Mu Fan. He was the disciple of Emperor Sky's gold medal producer, Tanjin Exin. As a matter of fact, the ingenious and popular scripts this so-called gold medal producer produced all came from the hands of his disciple, Su Lin. In the screenwriter circle, it wasn't rare for masters to exploit their master-apprentice relations or get these new and unknown screenwriters to ghostwrite for them with the ostensible purpose of training or coaching them. After two of his dramas were extremely well received, Su Lin naturally wasn't satisfied with just being a ghostwriter anymore. He sent in a request for right of authorship, and at the time, Tanjin Xin and Emperor Sky Entertainment agreed to it, but when the third drama series was produced, he wasn't given any credit once again. They simply gave him $30,000 as compensation. Su Lin wasn't going to sit around and be bullied, so he decided to go out on his own and find another company to work with for his new series. As Su Lin was overly respectful and trusting of Tanjin Xin before, He sent the new script over to him before his departure. Su Lin obviously underestimated how shameless Tanjin Xin and Emperor Sky were. Tanjin Xin had already given the script a makeover earlier on and registered it. Emperor Sky knew very well that this was Su Lin's creation, but for the sake of the reputation of this gold medal screenwriter, Tanjin Xin, they chose to collude with him and shot this series as quickly as they could. At that time, Su Lin was halfway through shooting his new series when he was beaten down by Tanjin Xin and Emperor Sky. They accused him of copyright infringement and stealing his mentor's screenplay. As he registered his script later than Tanjin Xin, Su Lin didn't have any excuses. All he could do was bear the shame and was forced to retreat. He saw how those people who stole his work away from him rose to fame and established a solid reputation for themselves. On the day this drama series won the 100 Flowers Award, Su Lin killed himself at home by burning charcoal. The script Yi Wanwan gave Gong Su was this exact script that exploded in popularity all over China. She wrote it entirely based on her memory. In this life, according to her estimations, Su Lin hadn't finished writing this series yet. She did a search online and this script wasn't registered yet either. She wrote the script out in advance based on her memory and registered it before everyone else. As the saying went, the mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. Not only would she triumph over Emperor Sky, but she would also take Su Lin under her wing. When Si Han heard what she said, he flipped through the business plan she wrote and didn't seem too pleased. After a while, he raised his head and looked at Yi Wanwan. Pulling sponsors? Yi Wanwan blinked. That's right. How can I shoot a series without sponsors? I thought about it, and there are a few bosses from various companies who like investing in teen idol drama series, so the chances of getting a few sponsors are pretty good. Si Han's face turned darker as Yi Wanwan spoke. After a long while, he replied, Is that so? Yi Wanwan finally noticed something was off. Why does his attitude seem a little odd? He was just fine a while ago. What is it? You don't seem too happy about it. Yi Wanwan tried to probe. Si Han placed the business plan down and looked straight at her. Why didn't you ask me? Yi Wanwan was dumbfounded when she realized what he said. Ask you? Seeing how it seemed like this idea hadn't crossed Yi Wanwan's mind at all, Si Han's face clouded over instantly. What? Why didn't she ask me? I'm a giant mountain of gold right here, yet she wanted to go to other people for sponsorships. Chapter 650. This gold mountain is hard to dig. Yi Wanwan took a gulp and said carefully, But you made me agree to a contract before and isn't one of the prerequisites for my freedom to not ask you for anything? Back then, Si Han was certain she would get badly bruised once she encountered the outside world and would return to his side and beg him for help eventually. But in the end, the great devil who dug a pit for himself once again. Si Han's thin lips became a straight line and after some time, he said without any expression, You can try to convince me. He was sitting on the sofa by the side. He looked at her and continued, Maybe I'll change my mind. Yi Wanwan, Si Han might go back on what he said before? No matter what, using Si Han as her guinea pig wasn't a bad idea. If she could get Si Han on board, wouldn't attracting other investors be as easy as ABC? Thus, Yi Wanwan coughed lightly. All right then. Can I start now? Si Han, sure. Yi Wanwan had prepared this investment proposal for a very long time, so she spoke with ease like she was driving on a familiar road. Firstly, our background, Dazzling Media, is a subsidiary of Worldwide Entertainment. We are strong and have abundant resources and a wide network. I can apply for this series to receive resources at the front lines. Si Han tilted his head slightly and appeared as if he wasn't convinced at all. Yi Wanwan didn't give up. She continued, Secondly, the lineup currently, the candidate we have chosen is the most popular young man at the moment, Gong Su. Although Gong Su's acting was criticized severely, I've arranged some professional training for him recently and most importantly, this script is very well suited for him. I believe this drama series will be the pivotal work that changes the public's opinion of Gong Su and redeem his image. By now, there should be sufficient talking points for this production. Si Han was still expressionless. When he heard Gong Su's name, his brows furrowed. Great, I've been going on for so long and not only did I not gain any points, I got points deducted. Yi Wanwan didn't dare to bring Gong Su up anymore. She quickly tried to remediate the situation. Thirdly, the script. These days, sponsors only look at the production team and cast and rarely read the script, but actually, the script is at the heart of a show. Country H and Country M's movie industries have always focused on the script. The screenwriters hold the greatest authority. So many quality dramas are produced by them, superior to the ones produced by us. Yi Wanwan spoke till her mouth was parched, but in the end, Si Han was still indifferent. Yi Wanwan was somewhat speechless. She threw the proposal aside and gulped down a large cup of water. Is the proposal I took such a long time to prepare this bad? How am I going to pull in sponsors then? Si Han's gaze followed her urgent expression. Why aren't you continuing? The corners of Yi Wanwan's lips twitched. Continue your father. You have to give me some reaction at least. Yi Wanwan inhaled deeply and continued. Anyway, I'm confident. I can promise that the final revenue and impact this drama series will have will be several times your investment. The companies that invested in this drama series in her previous life earned massive returns. Si Han. So? Yi Wanwan was speechless as she looked at Si Han's disdainful expression that read, the great master here is filthy rich, so what if you can earn 100 times more? You see money as dirt, so how am I supposed to get you to invest? Alas, Yi Wanwan was left with no tricks up her sleeves, so she simply blurted out, then, well, we shouldn't let one's own fertile water flow into others' fields, right? Hearing that phrase, Si Han's paralyzed expression finally showed some changes. You've convinced me. Yi Wanwan, H-ish? How was that convincing? What did I even say? Chapter 651. Why are you so cute? When Yi Wanwan heard Si Han saying, you've convinced me, she was dumbfounded. What did I even say? He treated money like dirt just a moment ago, but now he's suddenly convinced? Could it be because of that phrase? We shouldn't let one's own fertile water flow into others' fields? She originally only wanted to use Si Han to practice her pitch. After all, if she could convince a big boss like Si Han, would there be any investors she couldn't win over? In the end, this guy didn't even follow the pitch routine. She tried her best, but he showed no intention of coaching her through the pitch. Yi Wanwan hung her head and sighed. Anyway, the issue with her proposal was this. Try asking someone who earns 100 million a day if they would even bother picking up 1 yuan from the ground. Si Han wrote on the proposal with a golden fountain pen as he said, how much do you need? What's with this careless tone of, how much do you want? Just say it? Yi Wanwan swallowed and stared at a certain gold mountain. Are you really going to invest? Isn't this equivalent to slapping my own face? Si Han expressed a little discomfort on his face, but he still put on an expression that read, this honor here was the one who set the rules, so if this honor wants to change it, he can. He then said, what's the matter? Yi Wanwan burst out in laughter. She rubbed her chin and looked at the man who was aloof and arrogant yet deep and passionate on the inside. Baby, why are you so cute? Si Han's face stiffened and he turned to look at her lazy and teasing expression. Yi Wanwan placed the proposal down and smiled. Didn't you want to teach me to be independent and gain experience myself so that I could deal with everything independently someday? Hearing the word independent, Si Han pressed his lips further. If it's possible, how could I be willing to let her face everything alone? He even wished she couldn't do anything and didn't know anything. Looking at Si Han's expression, Yi Wanwan felt a burst of pain in her heart. She looked at him earnestly and said, Si Han, if you're no longer by my side in the future, I'll take good care of myself and strive for what you wish for. If you're still here, Yi Wanwan paused before she continued, I also hope I can stand beside you. The moment her words dropped, fireworks exploded in Si Han's eyes. His large palm suddenly extended and locked onto Yi Wanwan's head as he seized her lips. Since he just showered, his hair was slightly damp. His clear, cool breath along with the moist steam coiled around her, and every touch of his ignited flames on her body. Her breathing became ragged, and when she finally caught her breath, Yi Wanwan's eyes met his eyes that were like a whirlpool capable of sucking out her soul. Yi Wanwan was pressed onto the soft sofa. Si Han's moist hair was disheveled because of the kiss just now, and his pajamas were a bit loose, revealing a part of his chest which was pale due to his sickness, but he wasn't visibly frail. Further down were his fine, beautiful, domineering abs, and Yi Wanwan hurriedly shook her head and quickly steadied her mind from this charming sight. Cough. Dr. Sun has already advised me that before you fully recuperate, you can't do vigorous exercise. Hearing that, Si Han's face turned rigid and his eyes darkened with frustration. Yi Wanwan chuckled when she saw his reaction. She extended her hand into his short and dark hair, massaging and soothing him. We still have a long future ahead of us, right? There's this saying that goes like this: many are the years to come. 1. There is ample time ahead. Chapter 652. Life after marriage. Many are the years to come? Si Han's mouth twitched slightly. Yi Wanwan placated him and asked, Si Han, I have a question I want to ask you. The sofa was spacious, so Si Han laid directly next to her. His eyes landed on her body, and the depths of his eyes still contained some traces of lust. What's the question? Yi Wanwan thought about it for a moment before asking. Just want to ask, what does your ideal married life look like? Unknowingly, her thoughts of escaping from him gradually disappeared to the point where she started considering this kind of question. In her previous life, her life after she and Si Han got married was a nightmare she didn't want to remember. Married life. It was rare that Si Han remained silent for a long while before he finally said, life's daily necessities. Yi Wanwan raised her brows, clearly not expecting that Si Han's answer would be so plain and indifferent. So plain to the point of not having any special desires. With Si Han's temperament, she expected he would want to live differently from other people. Just as Yi Wanwan was about to speak, a ringing suddenly resounded. It was her older brother. Cough, I'm going to take a call. Si Han's expression turned slightly icy. The third rule. Yi Wanwan's lips twitched slightly. On the other hand, this rule is rock solid and unshakable, huh? I know, the third rule, I'm not allowed to attract the opposite sex, right? But this is my own brother and it's so late. What if there's an emergency? Si Han remained silent and didn't say a word, which meant he was reluctantly giving in to her. Alright, compared to the past when she couldn't even glance at other men, he already made great improvements and she should give him some encouragement. Thank you, darling. Yi Wanwan planted a kiss on his face, then went to answer the call. Hello. Brother, did something happen? Why are you calling me at this hour? At the other end of the call, Yi Mu Fan sounded very serious. When I met Luo Chen and Gong Su today, I had some inspiration and designed different types of outfits for them. I sent them to your email. Take a look. Yi Wanwan sighed. Oh, you're so diligent that it seems like you're a quality imitation. Yi Mu Fan replied, annoyed. I'm the real deal, thank you very much. After that, Yi Mu Fan stammered, are you with that wild man right now? What's going on with you guys now, living together already? He's not a wild man but an upright and genuine boyfriend, thank you very much. Yi Wanwan corrected him before she answered, he hasn't been feeling well lately, so I'm here keeping him company. Although he knew his sister was no longer the same girl as before, Yi Mu Fan was still worried. Remember what I said to you today, be more discerning. I got it. After she hung up, Yi Wanwan quickly went to placate the great devil who was drowning in a sea of vinegar. Fun. Darling, I hope you don't mind. My brother is always worried you're going to cheat me for my money and sex. They're all groundless fears. Even if there's any cheating involved, I'll be the one cheating on you, alright. Si Han, late at night. After Yi Wanwan coaxed Si Han to bed, she posted something on her WeChat moments. I'm willing to accompany you for the rest of my life with the basic necessities, vinegar, 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 vinegar tea. At first, she thought nobody would reply at this hour. She didn't expect that there were some night owls who would comment so quickly. Lin K, spreading poison so late at night? Could you be more considerate? Single dogs like me end up getting abused even when we're just scrolling through our moments in the middle of the night. Xie, little white rabbit is so insightful. Su E, I counted and there are 9 vinegars. Yimu fan, I've blocked it already, thank you. Chapter 653, Wealth and Beauty. The next morning, Yi Wanwan noticed quite a few replies from her post the moment she woke up. From the maids to the guards, many responded to her post. At that moment, she suddenly realized she was no longer in contact with the people she knew before. Now, her circle of friends was all connected to Si Han. Yi Wanwan scrolled through and found that Si Han, who never ever posted on his moments, actually posted something as well, wishing you wealth and beauty for the rest of your life. Isn't he the wealth and beauty? Does that mean he's willing to let me take him for the rest of my life? What a touching blessing, huh? After washing up, Yi Wanwan went downstairs to find a certain someone. The moment she got to the doorway and walked past the study, she saw someone walking out. Morning, Miss Yi. Qin Rua. She was holding a pile of documents in her hand. There wasn't the slightest change in her expression when she saw Yi Wanwan. I heard Miss Yi is preparing to shoot a new show? If you need any help, you can always talk to me, Qin Rua, she said in a friendly tone. No, thank you. I see. All right, I guess Agio will definitely make arrangements. I'm worrying too much. Yi Wanwan furrowed her brows and glanced at Qin Rua with a forced smile. What she said clearly implied that she was using and relying on Si Han. In her previous life, this was the case as well. At that time, she wanted to be independent and didn't want to always stay at home, so Si Han invested in many of her projects, but they all ended up as losses. After that, this incident was brought up by Qin Ruashi's people and they caused trouble for her. The main point was that they believed she wasn't capable at all and wasn't good enough to be the mistress of the household. Miss Qin worried too much, indeed. Yi Wanwan turned and left right after speaking. Qin Ruashi's eyes darkened as she looked at the gorgeous girl walking away. Agio wouldn't just look at the exterior of a person. Who is this woman exactly? Dazzling media. After they arrived at the company building, Yi Wanwan held a meeting to introduce Yi Mu Fan to a few of the staff. This is our newly appointed head stylist. Yi Mu Fan stood up. Hello, my surname is Yi, but you can call me Felix. We'll be fellow colleagues from now on, so please give me your guidance. During the period of time under Yi Wanwan's vigorous modifications, the general morale of the company changed drastically. Plainly, the interests of the company decided everything. Whether the people would obey her or not depended on whether she could make profits for them. Judging by the present situation, Yi Wanwan's approval rating was still very high. So even if she suddenly hired a head stylist externally, nobody had any objections at all and they all expressed their welcome. Furthermore, Yi Mu Fan's bearing and temperament were quite domineering. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Teacher Felix. After Yi Xiaoting was overthrown, Yi Mu Fan disappeared from the industry for 2 whole years and currently, nobody knew about him or his name. Alright, Teacher Felix will be in charge of all styling matters from now on. Everyone should get to know each other better and if there are any questions about styling, you can look for him directly. After a series of instructions, Yi Wanwan called Yi Mu Fan into her office alone and went through the company's situation in detail. You don't have to worry about Luo Chen, he'll definitely cooperate with you. Although Gong Su has his own stylist, the main point is his accessories. He usually likes to dress himself. You probably have to take note of this. Yi Wanwan warned him about the person who needed more attention. No problem. Also, I already recommended a number of dramas that focus heavily on costumes at Worldwide, but the best thing I can do for you is to provide resources. That's sufficient. Yi Wanwan nodded then smiled before showing Yi Mu Fan her phone. Take a look at this. What is it? Yi Mu Fan followed Yi Wanwan's gaze and in the end, what he saw on her phone was a gossip regarding Shin Mengqi. Chapter 654. Show my sincerity. It was a piece of celebrity gossip news on her phone screen. The title was Fashion Guru Shin Meng-chi staged a scene of a car accident, and in the photo, Shin Meng-chi was wearing a pair of leather pants and a motorcycle jacket. Her hair was extremely curly and messy. It was simply terrifying. At first, a couple fans praised her mindlessly, but after that, the netizens and a few fashionistas started insulting her. This is called unconventional? I think the stylist must be out of his mind, right? She doesn't look nice at all, so darn ugly. If this is fashion, then it's an insult to our aesthetic tastes. Didn't expect that the fashion guru would make such a styling mistake. This outfit is too hideous. She's probably trying to imitate Chiao Ka-exen, but she doesn't give off Chiao Ka-exen's cool and confident aura. This looks like she was trying to impersonate someone but made a fool of herself. I suddenly find Shin Meng-chi's butt really flat and her thighs huge. In the past, I didn't notice it at all and thought her figure was pretty nice. Yimu Fan read those comments in silence. In the past, when he designed her outfits, he was very careful and put in a lot of effort. He would avoid highlighting her shortcomings, so they obviously didn't notice before. So, do you feel better? Yi Wanwan asked. Recently, he felt that his younger sister was becoming more foreign to him, but the care she had for him never changed at all. She's a nobody, Yimu Fan replied. It wasn't worth wasting his emotions on this person. At the same time, at Assembly of Stars Entertainment, Shen Meng-chi tore up the newspaper on the table in anger, then glared fiercely at the man across her. He Junshin, what on earth are you doing? Didn't you say there were absolutely no problems with that outfit? There was indeed nothing wrong with that outfit. Chiao Ka-exen wore something like this previously as well. It was very stunning that time. TSK, so you're saying it's not a problem with the style but my problem? Meng-chi, don't be so agitated, that's not what I meant. You're naturally beautiful, so obviously, you'll look good in anything. It's those people who are blind. He Jun-ching, stop sucking up to me. I'll be taking part in the fashion festival soon, and if anything goes wrong, you know the consequences, yeah? Meng-chi. Shin Meng-chi slammed the door shut in He Jun-cheng's face and he turned gloomy. Damn it. It's all that loser Yimu Fan's fault. Seems like I have to put in some capital. On the first day of work, Yimu Fan was extremely busy. He didn't even have a chance to rest the entire day, but this gave him a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment. Just as he was about to get into the car, his phone started ringing. Seeing the caller ID, Yimu Fan's face clouded over. It was He Jun-ching. The darkness on Yimu Fan's face dissipated very quickly and he answered casually, Hello. Hello, young Master Yi. Do you have some time now? Can we talk? He Jun-ching asked very courteously. Oh, talk about what? It was indeed my fault, but it was just over a woman. Young Master Yi, you fooled around in the past too, so why do you have to be so petty, huh? Tisk, Yimu Fan chuckled. Are you done? He Jun-ching swallowed his spit, afraid Yimu Fan would hang up, so he quickly said, I thought it through and in order to show my sincerity, I'll pay you a price that you'll definitely be satisfied with as long as you're willing to come back and help me. At this moment, Yimu Fan didn't have the same burning fury he had that night. His fingers lightly rubbed the car keys in his hand as he replied, Sure. Chapter 655. Have fun waiting. Then He Jun-ching was over the moon. His heart filled with mockery and disdain. As expected, with Yimu Fan's penniless state, he was satisfied at the mention of money and relented immediately. I thought he would have some backbone. TSK, if it wasn't for his usefulness, he'd just be a rat in the gutter. He's not worth speaking nicely to at all. Young Master Yi is indeed straightforward. That's right, there's no need to reject money just because you're angry. Anyway, we've worked together for so long. I definitely won't treat you badly. Where are you? Let's meet to discuss right now, okay? He Jun-ching said eagerly. Sure, I'll see you at the foot of Dragon Burial Hill in the north of the city. Great, see you later. Dusk at Dragon Burial Hill. The outskirts were deserted and quiet. There were practically no vehicles or pedestrians around. He Jun-ching drove very quickly and arrived within a minute for a journey that normally took half an hour. At the same time, Yi Mu Fan had just arrived at the underground car park of Grandview Park. After he parked his car, he walked into the lift leisurely with his keys in his hand. He opened the door to the apartment and sat comfortably on the sofa before Hee Jun Cheng's call came. Yi Mu Fan glanced at the caller ID on his screen, took out a bottle of mineral water from the fridge and casually took a sip before slowly answering the call. Hello. Hey. Young Master Yi, I'm here. Are you on your way? Hee Jun Cheng asked. Yi Mu Fan crossed his legs without a change in his expression and wasn't anxious at all. Yes, I'm on the way. Good, I'll wait for you then. Okay. Yi Mu Fan hung up the phone and tossed it aside. After that, he took out a clean set of clothes and went to take a shower. Hee Jun Cheng sat in the car and kept checking his watch from time to time. Shortly after, 15 minutes had gone by and Yi Mu Fan still hadn't appeared. Hee Jun Cheng wasn't anxious and continued waiting. Since he sped over in his sports car, obviously he would arrive much earlier. About half an hour later, Yi Mu Fan still hadn't arrived yet, so Hee Jun Cheng made a second call. Hello young Master Yi, are you here yet? Yi Mu Fan was lying in bed in his pajamas with one hand holding a glass of red wine and another holding a fashion magazine. There's a traffic jam on the road. I think it'll take quite a while longer. Hee Jun Cheng. Oh, all right. Then roughly how long will you take? Yi Mu Fan. About 10 minutes. Alas, 10 minutes went by and Yi Mu Fan still wasn't there, so Hee Jun Cheng called him once again. I'm still on the way. Yi Mu Fan couldn't even be bothered to think of a new excuse now. Hee Jun Cheng grew impatient. Ever since he became famous, he didn't have to wait for anybody. It was always the other way around. But today he actually had to wait. He felt so lucky that with his little ability to pick up women, he was able to seduce Shen Mengqi and made her so happy. And it just so happened that Shen Mengqi seemed to have some hatred for the Yi family, resulting in another advantage for him. Not only did he have a woman to play with, he even sees someone's reputation, so he was as pleased as punch for sure. But right now, because of this fool Yi Mu Fan, he had a big headache. Thankfully, it would be too easy to handle this idiot. He would just give him some money and he'd obey and everything would still belong to him. Just waiting for a little while longer didn't matter. Hee Jun Cheng took a deep breath. Sure, no hurry. Yi Mu Fan glanced sideways at the phone he tossed aside and continued sipping his red wine. He said unhurriedly, Tiske, have fun waiting then. Chapter 656. Come here, I'll tell you. The sun was slowly setting and the sky turned darker. In the blink of an eye, 2 hours had gone by and everything was pitch black. This secluded place was void of people. There were neither houses nor shops present, and there was even a cemetery on the mountain. It felt eerie and chilly. Hee Jun Cheng shuddered. He rubbed his arms and muttered a curse as he made another call. Young Master Yi, is your car working fine? Did it break down on the road again? Why don't I just go over and pick you up? Soon, be there in about 5 more minutes. He said 5 minutes right before. This guy is doing this on purpose. Hee Jun Cheng was so furious that he nearly cursed. My car is parked in front of the signboard. Just meet me here directly. All right, got it. Yi Mu Fan hung up, drank almost half a bottle of red wine and finished reading his magazines and some documents. Then he finally got up and left the house at a leisurely pace. An hour later, Yi Mu Fan finally arrived via taxi. Hee Jun Cheng had waited 4 hours for Yi Mu Fan and he nearly exploded. In the end, he still smiled when he saw Yi Mu Fan. Young Master Yi, you're finally here. Your luck isn't too good today, huh? You kept bumping into obstacles on your way here. But it's okay, the road to happiness is paved with hardships, right? He couldn't say anything even when he knew Yi Mu Fan did it on purpose. Darn it, wait till I settle this one. I'll make sure to torture Yi Mu Fan. But young Master Yi, why did you meet me here? Should we go somewhere else to get a drink and talk? Hee Jun Cheng felt like this place was too creepy. Yi Mu Fan lit a cigarette, took a long drag and puffed out a circle of smoke. This place is pretty good, quiet and secluded. Fine, as long as you like it. Then let's talk business now. As long as you continue working for me, I'll pay you $10,000 a month. What do you think? Generous enough, right? Di Junqing went straight to the point in a hurry. Yi Mu Fan took another drag and mumbled, $10,000. Seeing that Yi Mu Fan was still hesitant, He Junqing said in a gallant tone, I'll give you $20,000. Official staff in the company earned the same amount. When Yi Mu Fan heard that, he laughed out loud. Then? $30,000? That's almost the same as what I'm getting. He Junqing said charitably. TSK, he earns $30,000 from the company, but his reputation earns him 100 times more than that. He's just treating me like a beggar. He Junqing said earnestly, Young Master Yi, I know your life isn't easy right now. I'm sure you're aware of your current situation as well. That second uncle of yours isn't easy to deal with and will never let you succeed. Honestly, you won't get a better offer than this outside, and some companies might not even let you through the door. With your father in such heavy debt, at least you don't have to worry about clothing and food when you work for me, right? Yi Mu Fan raised his brows. That makes sense. Once He Junqing saw that Yi Mu Fan was almost convinced, he got excited. What else do you want? Just let me know. Yi Mu Fan chuckled and said mysteriously, What I want? Come here, I'll tell you. He Junqing walked over anxiously. Yi Mu Fan tossed his cigarette away and extinguished it with his shoe, then smiled and looked at He Junqing. In the next second, just as He Junqing stepped towards him, there was a resounding bang. He Junqing cried out in pain and fell to the ground from the punch. Chapter 657. Sis, you won. He Junqing was beaten till he saw stars, and he only regained his senses after a long time. Holding his now bloody nose, he roared, Yi Fan, you're insane. Yi Mu Fan approached him step by step. There's more to my craziness, want to try it? Fear enshrouded He Junqing. What are you planning to do? Don't you dare mess with me. What are you doing? He Junqing was a weakling while Yi Mu Fan had been fighting since he was little. He Junqing was no match for him at all and was subdued with a few beatings as Yi Mu Fan tied him up tightly with a rope. Yi Mu Fan, let me go, you better think about the consequences. Yi Mu Fan ignored He Junqing's howling. He took He Junqing's phone and threw it away. After that, he carried him to the top of the mountain like he was carrying a little chick. Finally, Yi Mu Fan threw He Junqing in the middle of the graveyard and said, Great Director He, enjoy the night. He Junqing's gaze swept across the densely packed graveyard and goosebumps started forming. He was so scared that his voice cracked. Fuck! Let me go! Let me go! Yi Mu Fan, go to hell. Now he finally realized why Yi Mu Fan wanted to meet there, but it was too late. Yi Mu Fan placed his hands behind his head and looked up at the moon while he made his way down the mountain slowly with He Junqing whining in the background. Yi Mu Fan, you asshole! Help me. Is there anyone out there? Someone get me out of here. He Junqing continued yelling for the entire night, but how would there be anyone at the graveyard at this hour? After Yi Mu Fan returned to his apartment, he slept till daylight so his skin looked radiant and smooth. He arrived at the company looking refreshed and handsome. The moment he reached the office, he heard a few colleagues gossiping about something. Really? Is it true? Was it really He Junqing? That head stylist He Junqing from Assembly of Stars? They got a clear shot of his face. It's him for sure. Who did he offend, huh? He was actually tied up and dumped at the graveyard. What are you guys chatting about? Yi Mu Fan overheard He Junqing's name, so he walked over. Head stylist Felix. Good morning. We're talking about the latest morning post on Weibo. Someone went to Long Chen Mountain early in the morning and saw a man being tied up and tossed in the graveyard. It scared him out of his wits and he thought he saw a ghost, so he took a photo and posted it onto the internet. In the end, netizens found out that the man was actually the head stylist, He Junqing, of Assembly of Stars Entertainment. Surprising, huh? Yi Mu Fan raised his brows and spoke without any expression, and quite surprising. At this moment, Yi Mu Fan's phone started ringing. It was a call from Yi Wanwan. Yi Mu Fan's face turned from relaxed to panicked. He quickly went to the toilet and answered the call nervously. Hello, Wanwana. Without any polite greetings, Yi Wanwan went straight to the point. You were the one behind what happened to He Junqing? Darn it. Sure enough, she found out. Yi Mu Fan stuttered as he tried to explain. Don't be angry, I won't be impulsive and cause trouble anymore. Why didn't you strip him naked before tying him up? Also, don't you think dumping him at the main gate of Imperial City's Fashion Management Association would be better? Yi Wanwan said in a dissatisfied tone. Yi Mu Fan couldn't complete his sentence. Sis, you won. Chapter 658. Affects the image of the city. Yi Mu Fan choked. That wouldn't be too good. It would affect the image of the city? Yi Wanwan said. Forget it, there are still chances to deal with him in the future. Just focus on your work first. I'm going to Worldwide for a meeting and we'll try to find a chance to recommend you and see whether you can enter the production team of The Prosperous Dynasty. I'll let you know when I'm back. Sure. Thank you, boss. Worldwide Entertainment Headquarters Building, Conference Room. Chu Hongguang was in a great mood as he praised and flattered Yi Wanwan in front of everyone. Haha, in such a short time, Dazzling's profits have doubled. Yi Bai, you did a fantastic job. The others from senior management echoed those praises for her as well. Director Yi is indeed going to surpass us. Chairman Chu is really a good judge of talent. That's right. Chairman Chu has good judgment and picked a good horse like Director Yi. Yi Wanwan said humbly, it was all thanks to Chairman Chu's guidance. Chu Hongguang was very pleased with Yi Wanwan's reply. Alright, you don't have to be so humble. I placed you in an important position because you're talented, but young people can't get restless. Don't be like some people who have bad intentions and start having wicked ideas once they get more power. Chu Hongguang praised her and didn't forget to throw in some reminders. After all, Yi Wanwan was doing so well so quickly and he wasn't the one who groomed her, so it was normal that he was worried. I'll bear in mind Chairman Chu's words. There's also still one thing that I need Chairman Chu's permission for. Yi Wanwan said. Oh, speak your mind. Yi Wanwan replied, I heard that the stylist for The Prosperous Dynasty hasn't been set and I have someone in mind on my side. I wonder if it's possible to allow him to go over and give it a try? If he's not suitable, then Chairman Chu may find someone else immediately. Oh, such a small matter. Just get him to report to us directly, we'll set him as the stylist then. Since he's someone you recommend, there shouldn't be any problems, Chu Hongguang said generously. Thank you, Chairman Chu. Yi Wanwan wasn't surprised at all. She performed well and in order for Chu Hongguang to express his gratitude, he should be agreeable to a small request like this. It was just that Chu Hongguang seemed to trust her on the surface, but this sly old fox would never give her free rein so easily. He might take action soon and she had to have a plan beforehand. After the meeting ended, in Worldwide's chairman office, a slovenly young man sat on the sofa and rushed over the moment he saw Chu Hongguang. Uncle, you're done with the meeting? Why were you so free to come see me today? Chu Hongguang gave his nephew side-eye nonchalantly. The young man's eyes shifted and he spoke anxiously. Uncle, I'm worried for you. Do you really trust that Yi Bai? After all, he's not someone you brought in yourself and with such a big company like Dazzling, aren't you worried about handing it over to an outsider? Look at Zhou Wenbin. He's been with you for so many years, yet he's still so unreliable, much less an outsider. Chu Hongguang obviously knew his nephew had his eyes on Dazzling, this fat chunk of meat. Look at you being so anxious. Yi Bai's just taken over Dazzling for a short while, and the company isn't stable yet, so why are you so anxious? The young man understood the meaning behind Chu Hongguang's words and was delighted. Uncle, you mean that once the company is stable, I'll be able to take over? So you already made plans, huh? Uncle, you're capable and wise indeed. I was worrying too much. Chu Hongguang was very satisfied with this sucking up. Bastard, get back and understand the situation at Dazzling. Don't get flustered and mess things up in the future. The young man was elated. Got it, Uncle, don't worry. Chapter 659. Not going there to stir up trouble. After Yi Wanwan walked out of Worldwide's building, she gave Yi Mu Fan a call to inform him of the outcome. Go, I've already settled things on my side here. You should get ready and report for work at the Prosperous Dynasty, quickly. Huh. Yi Mu Fan took a few seconds to register what she said. Say settled? Just like that? So I just have to report directly? There's no trial or anything? No need. Chu Hongguang had made the post himself. As long as it's not an important post, Chu Hongguang won't really mind. It's normal for him to simply use it to return a favor. However, this opportunity was very important to Yi Mu Fan. Whether or not he could use this chance to make it big would depend on himself. After all, it took way too long to start from the bottom, and he greatly needed influential work. Taking advantage of the fact that he had some authority now, he had to quickly strive for more resources because next time, it might not be so simple. But whether or not you can make the most out of this opportunity depends on you, Yi Wanwan reminded him. Got it? Huh, I won't let you down. Yi Wanwan's face warmed up a little. And go get busy. I'm heading down to the site of Terrifying Dragon 2 to check on Luo Chen. Okay. A certain filming site of a variety show. Are we done yet? Gong Su's patience was running out. The director of the broadcasting station jogged over quickly. We're done, we're done. Suji, the station would like to treat you to dinner tonight. Will you do us the honor? No way. Once Gong Su heard that it was done, he stood up immediately and strode off. The director stood in the same spot awkwardly. The little assistant hurriedly chased after him. Su, go slower, where are we going to go now? The filming site of Terrifying Dragon 2. Gong Su replied. What are we going there for? The little assistant didn't understand. Obviously we're going to find Yi. He doesn't have the time to come over, so I'm going there to find him instead. Gong Su replied like it was the obvious thing to do. Is that okay? Should we inform Yi first? The little assistant asked meekly. What kind of expression is this? I'm going to see, not stir up trouble. Gong Su was offended. Yes. The little assistant wiped the sweat off his forehead. His relationship with Luo Chen was like fire and water. If they went to the filming site now, how could he not worry? What if something happened? How was he going to answer Yi Ji? He could only hope that Yi Ji had already ended his meeting and was at the filming site. In the meantime, Imperial City's Terrifying Dragon 2 filming site. The production crew rented the entire scenic area for the filming of this series. Currently, the shooting was undergone with nervousness. The crew was ready in their positions and the cameras were pointed towards a pair in the woods, Luo Chen and one of the supporting actress in the series, Liang Yu, who was playing the role of Qingqing. An imperial teacher in the state in Terrifying Dragon predicted that there was someone who would bring misfortune and cause the dynasty to perish, so he gave the order to eliminate this person. The imperial teacher calculated that person's birthday and whereabouts, but nobody could find Lin Luochen. In order for the so-called safety and peace of the nation, they decided to burn down the entire village. Everyone in the village died and only Lin Luochen, Yunhai, and Qingqing managed to escape. The three of them fled to the general's mansion and joined the army camp. In the end, many years later, Lin Luochen's identity was exposed. At that moment, Yunhai was out on a mission in the desert and didn't know anything about this. Qingqing fled with Lin Luochen and was finally killed when she blocked a sword for Lin Luochen. Chapter 660. Mistake. Qingqing's death became the catalyst for Lin Luochen's transformation and was also the biggest stain on his heart. After Lin Luochen joined the evil cult, he had a complete change in temperament, lost all emotions and rejected love. One day, in the middle of a battle, Lin Luochen unexpectedly noticed a female disciple from a certain sect, Meng Xiaorou, who actually looked very similar to Qingqing. As Meng Xiaorou and the person he loved looked so similar, Lin Luochen didn't kill her and brought her to the cult to recuperate instead. When the two of them got closer, Meng Xiaorou slowly realized that Lin Luochen was completely different from the great devil she thought he was. After spending so much time together, she started to develop feelings for him. Lin Luochen was also struggling. He knew she wasn't Qingqing, yet he couldn't help looking for Qingqing's shadow in her, and he even started to like her. The scene they were filming today was the scene where Meng Xiaoro confessed her feelings for him. 3, 2, 1. Action. Shooting began. In the woods, the girl was dressed in a green dress. She looked delicate and adorable while the man was clad in a black robe. His icy expression was like white snow piling up on a sheet of ice. The girl stared at the guy before her, starry-eyed. She couldn't conceal the love she had for him at all and blushed as she spoke. I like you. Facing this person who was a great devil in everyone's eyes, the girl didn't have a look of disdain or hatred. There was only adoration, and she brilliantly depicted a little girl deeply in love. Following that, the camera focused on Luochen. At this moment, Luochen revealed a surprised expression. Most importantly, he had to display an entanglement of love and hatred in addition to the helplessness and bashfulness a teen should have as if he returned to his former self. However, at this moment, Luochen was still ice-cold. He merely furrowed his brows, but his expression was clearly too stiff. Cut! The director threw the script in his hand. It's the 17th time. How many times do you want to film such a simple scene? Luochen, are you still able to act? If not, just get lost right now. Luochen and Meng Xiaoro's scenes hadn't been going smoothly these past few days, and today they continuously shot NG scenes for the entire day, so Song Jin Lin finally exploded. Song Jin Lin looked very gentle and intelligent usually, but once he started filming, he became very serious and was very harsh with his scolding. Luochen's face turned pale. Sorry, director, this is the last chance I'm giving you. We'll shoot other scenes first while you sort yourself out. If you NG once more, don't come back anymore. Back at the resting area. The actors in the resting area had been divided into various groups by Emperor Sky's Ling Xiaozhi. Seeing Luochen being scolded and criticized by the director the entire day, a few of the small artists around Ling Xiaozhi started gossiping. TSK, a new generation of idols? With this acting, he really knows how to boast, huh? Before, I thought his acting was really good, but as it turns out, he only knows how to act like he has facial paralysis. He messed up such a simple scene. Someone actually compared him to our Xiaozhi. I think those outsiders are blind. That's right, a has-been is precisely a has-been. He's better kept under the table. Hey, you guys, Luochen's assistant, Xiaoqing, was about to speak up, but Luochen shook his head lightly and stopped her. He was already used to this treatment and didn't want to cause trouble for Yi Ji. Furthermore, it was really his own problem. Chapter 661. Stirring trouble on purpose. Luochen balled up his fists and returned to his seat without a word. The moment he picked up the cup of coffee next to him, a female artist extended her leg to trip him and acted like it was accidental. The coffee in Luochen's hand swayed and spilled all over Ling Xiaozhi. Aya, why are you so careless? You dirted Xiaozhi's clothes. The female artist screamed while criticizing him. At the same time, she quickly took out a tissue pack and hopped over to Ling Xiaozhi to clean the stain around his chest. Ling Xiaozhi was a little bit of a clean freak, so he frowned instantly. Gross. Exactly this trash. It's disgusting to be in the same production team as him. Hey, why are you still standing there? You should apologize to Xiaozhi. The female artist screeched. Xiaoqing couldn't take this anymore as she shielded Luochen like an old mother hen. Wan Shanshan, what's your problem? You were the one who stuck out your leg to trip our Luochen and caused his coffee to spill. You should be the one apologizing. Which eye of yours saw me tripping him? Did you guys see it? Wan Shanshan swept her gaze across the few surrounding artists. They immediately answered at the same time, no, no. Luochen spilled it himself. Luochen spilled his coffee on Ling Xiaozhi on purpose. Yes, 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 he's jealous, so he did it on purpose? This is too much. All of you. Venomous slanderers. Xiaoqing was furious. After Ling Xiaozhi got famous, he loved acting like a big shot and bullying the newcomers, much less an old foe like Luo Chen. At this moment, he glanced at Luo Chen, then said casually, "Don't call me a bully. It's fine if you don't apologize. This outfit cost $800,000. Just pay for it and I'll forget this incident." Everyone was stunned when they heard the price of this outfit. Wow, that outfit was actually so expensive? Of course it was. This is a limited edition outfit by Brand H. There are only 10 sets in the world. Just a single diamond button costs $100,000. Xiao Qing panicked when she heard how expensive this outfit was. But it's just a little dirty. Can't you just wash it? Do you have to go to this extent? Wan Shanshan said in a high-pitched voice, "Wash it? Are you kidding me? How can you simply wash an outfit like this? Even if it's just a little dirty, the entire outfit is ruined. Okay, forget it, a country bumpkin like you wouldn't understand." Luo Chen's face darkened and his fists were clenched. The pay he took home from the entire drama series wasn't even $1 million, and he already spent it all on his mother's medical fees and surgery. Where could he find this amount of money? But you can't afford it? Tiske, acting like you're so high class when you're broke. That's right. Just apologize. Why are you acting? Emperor Sky and Worldwide had always been on bad terms. Ling Xiaozhe and Luo Chen also had a long-standing feud, so these people were stirring up trouble on purpose. Before, they only had a bit of friction, but this time, after seeing Luo Chen being scolded by the director, they obviously had to seize the chance to insult him. Ling Xiaozhe was calm and unruffled as he looked at the dashing teen before him. He recalled how he was overshadowed by a supporting actor during Terrifying Dragon 1, and started fuming in his heart. What made him angrier was that once the news of Terrifying Dragon 2 was released, those comments started surfacing once again and everyone compared him to Luo Chen. Also, many said that Luo Chen's performance would be more spectacular in the second series. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.